Hi guys, and welcome to the 2016 German Grand Prix preview. This is the 12th round of the Formula 1 season, and this race is going to be taking place at the circuit of Hockenheim. Germany makes a return to the calendar after a 1-year absence due to the fact that the Nürburgring have very bad financial trouble last year, which forced Bernie Ecclestone to drop it from the calendar, meaning we had no German Grand Prix last year, but it's back this year, and hopefully, and I think, we are going to be in for a very good race. This race is going to be consistent over 67 laps. The total circuit length is about 2.8 miles, and if you put that all together within the race, it's going to be about 190 miles. Now, as you're probably aware by now, LC is yet again not with us this week. He was supposed to be here for the German Grand Prix preview. He has, however, had to go and do work, so we couldn't, obviously, we didn't have had time. So I've been able to do it this time, and hopefully for the F1 debate show on Saturday, he should be back with us as well. So, and obviously, hopefully after the summer break, normal service should resume, which is absolutely fantastic as well. So I'm going to jump in straight into this preview with, I'm going to talk about one in particular driver right now. You're probably thinking we've spoke about him quite a lot this season, but I believe this is a key element to talk about this driver now because of obviously of the circumstances. And I'm obviously on about Nico Rosberg, who, yes, he threw away a 43-point lead, and yes, there's always been questions over his future and his relationship with Lewis Hamilton, but the German Grand Prix is back after 1-year absence. Nico Rosberg won the last time we were here, and the best thing for him is it's going to be in front of his home supporters. So we're going to see a lot more of Rosberg fans than Hamilton fans. And that is going to be so key for this Grand Prix weekend for Nico Rosberg, because when we were at Silverstone, you had loads of people taunting Rosberg, booing him and saying, Hamilton's better, Hamilton for the championship, and gunning for Hamilton. And obviously that's how the momentum was with Hamilton. And obviously he went on to do absolutely amazing things at the British Grand Prix, obviously pouring the win and everything else like that. The celebrations were absolutely fantastic. Now I believe the same sort of thing will happen to Rosberg this weekend, just because, yes, he is in front of his home crowd. They are going to be going behind him, and they are going to be taunting Lewis Hamilton. And again, that is going to be very interesting to see, and I think it's going to provide a very close action race as well. But not only that, Lewis Hamilton has to think, this is my team's home Grand Prix as well, so he needs to treat this like one of his own. He needs to treat this like Silverstone, except it's going to be a bit like Silverstone on a bit of a sour edge type of thing, you know what I mean? Because obviously when the fans were taunting Rosberg, now all of a sudden the fans are going to be taunting Hamilton. So let's see how Hamilton can cope with that pressure, because back in 2014 it was pretty much a light thing between those two, so it wasn't exactly anything bad. But obviously 2 years on, it's a lot of things have happened, lots of things have exploded, especially what happened in Spain. So anything can happen in this Grand Prix. However, Nico Rosberg is on a very bad form at the moment in terms of wins, because obviously, it's like I said, 43-point lead is now gone. He's got a 6-point deficit to Lewis Hamilton, which is absolutely tragic. He's only ever won one Grand Prix since that big crash in Spain. Obviously, he won the first 4 races before that he crashed, and then ever since then he's only won one race, which was the European Grand Prix. So, and even then Lewis Hamilton had a problem, so obviously he got lucky there. So, you know what I mean? He's on bad form, and then convert that Lewis Hamilton before the big accident. He obviously he didn't win any races. He was miles off form, and everybody was questioning Lewis Hamilton's ability. But now all of a sudden, eureka moment. He's won every single one apart from the one that Rosberg won. What did I just say? The European Grand Prix. So you know what I mean. So it is going to be extremely interesting to see what is going to occur this week. And yes, obviously make sure you stay tuned for, obviously let's hope you watch the race, because I think that's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix this week. And so obviously that's pretty much the home team sorted. Now let's have a look at the rest of the grid. Now before I jump into some other teams, I am going to briefly talk about the other German drivers here. Sebastian Vettel, Nico Hülkenberg and Pascal Wehrlein. Now Sebastian Vettel, he's already won his home Grand Prix. He won at the Nürburgring in 2013. Obviously, brilliant for him then. That was the first time he won his home race. So, you know what I mean? So you're probably thinking, you know what, JT, give us your predictions. Will he win his home Grand Prix this year? No, if I'm honest. That's pretty much it, basically. So yeah, I mean, obviously Vettel might win if should both Mercedes, chuck each other off, or they have some problems. But Ferrari right now are in an absolute mess, if I'm honest with you. Yes, they are second in the constructors, but they're so far behind Mercedes than where they should be. It's almost like a bit of a disaster. You know what I mean? Because everyone's questioned the ability of Ferrari in the winter. They were very, very impressive, let's not forget. They beat the Mercedes on 3 occasions last season. They haven't beaten them once on this occasion, apart from, yes, the Spanish Grand Prix, but that was because both drivers crashed out, so... You know, in the say, let's not count that, you know what I mean? But then again, you could say let's not count Max Verstappen's win, but that's another story. But yeah, Ferrari right now are an absolute mess, and now it's even more of a mess because today it's been announced that James Allison, technical director of Ferrari, has now left. So that could play a big part in Ferrari's season, but also that's going to leave a huge hole in Ferrari's, you know, backroom staff as well. A bit like when Adrian Newey sort of walked away from McLaren up into Red Bull, and then obviously he's not really part of Red Bull mostly anymore. So you know what I mean. That's, you can tell how much of a miss he's going to be. But I believe Ferrari will come up strong very soon. I think after the summer break they should have at least, you know, a couple of wins under their belt. It should be closer from the summer break onwards. However, for this weekend, Ferrari's chances are very slim. Vettel isn't going to win the Grand Prix. Kimi Raikkonen stands no chance. No offense, Kimi Raikkonen fans, but that's my opinion. You know what I mean. I want to be honest. The other two drivers, obviously Nico Hülkenberg and Pascal Wehrlein, stand really no chance of winning the Grand Prix. However, let's not rule them out of doing a very good result, because Nico Hülkenberg is a very talented racer. He hasn't won a Grand Prix, and you know what I mean. I mean, it would be nice for him to get a podium at this Grand Prix. I mean, obviously it's his home race as well in front of his home fans. So let's see what he can do this weekend. Pascal Wehrlein won't get a podium this weekend, but the best thing he can do is score points, and that is obviously what the team wants, you know what I mean? And where else to score even more points for yourself and possibly match, you know, what Jules Bianchi did in Monaco and have 2 points for the team and then do it at your home Grand Prix or for Pascal Wehrlein. That would be absolutely incredible. And not only that, I'm gathering there'll be loads of Mercedes personnel there as well. Obviously he would have raced here loads of times in a German DTM and everything, so that's going to be very, you know, key for him as well, for learning this track as well, because he knows the circuit very well. And I imagine we've done quite a bit of testing on here for Mercedes as well, so let's see how those plan out. So the next thing I'm going to briefly move on to just for a bit is Red Bull. Now, Red Bull's chances of this weekend are, you could say, let's say, a little bit slim. Max Verstappen's chances of, you know, winning the race, as like I said, aren't very good. Neither Daniel Ricciardo's as well. I think this weekend, I don't think they're going to do as well this weekend, because it's a circuit that Mercedes is going to dominate. I think the circuit suits a little bit of Ferrari, if I'm honest with you. Ferrari have done well at this circuit. Well, in fact, they've won 22 races at this circuit, so that just speaks for itself. Yes, that is, you know, past era, and since the turn of the decade in 2010, they've only won the German Grand Prix twice. Obviously, missed a year in 2015, so you could argue that yes, Ferrari's chances back then were good, but now all of a sudden recently they haven't really done as well. So obviously it depends how you argue with that. But yes, Red Bull have won this Grand Prix twice, 09 and 13. What? 2009 and 2013. So obviously two extremely talented drivers, very much in form right now. Max Verstappen's podium in the last Grand Prix as well, spot on as well. But obviously, I mean, Red Bull, I mean, I would like to see Daniel Ricciardo podium as well. I also like to see a Max Verstappen podium. So yeah, it is a bit unfortunate that Red Bull, you know, maybe couldn't even put like a bit of a fight up. But you know, I think obviously with Mercedes how far they are right now, it is very difficult to say who else is going to win, because the rest of the field, probably from Red Bull till about maybe Toro Rosso, are quite close as well. So any one of them could do well. But obviously, let's see how they do. Let's see how they do this weekend. I'm going to say for them Q3 appearance. One of them on the podium, I would like to say that, but this weekend I can't say it. There's only one other driver who I think is going to be on the podium, and that is going to be Sebastian Vettel. So the last time we were here, Nico Rosberg won the Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton came third, but the driver who came second, who was a driver very much on form at this point of the season, was Valtteri Bottas. He came second. And at tracks like this, where, you know, he's had a good record, especially in, you know, Canada and now the German Grand Prix, I think he'll do well at this circuit. Williams haven't been where they should be, you know what I mean? They've kind of dropped off the pace a little bit. They haven't really made themselves, you know, known. It's kind of like 2015 all over again. You know, you expect them to do well, but they haven't really delivered results, and that's obviously going to question the future of Massa, who obviously his contract runs out at the end of the year, and now they're going to be looking elsewhere. Bottas is pretty much, I think he's going to stay for a long term, but Massa on the other hand, he needs to deliver results if he wants to stay in Formula 1. But he could be at that age where he goes, you know what, I've been there, I've done that, I'm not going to win on the championship, there's other kids coming through the ranks, I'm not going to get another shot with a big team. I've been there. I think Man City, could say he's almost given up in a way. So let's see how that pans out. Williams chances this weekend, probably Q3 appearances. Let's hope. British team as well. So obviously I will be backing them this weekend. Obviously Flick Massa missed out in Q2 and Q3 rather, because he got knocked out in Q1 when he spun. At last weekend's Grand Prix in Hungary, so I'll expect a better qualifying from those two as well. Maybe a decent result. I mean, sure they get their strategy right. It could be fastest pit stops as well from Australia till about Silverstone. Then at the Hungarian Grand Prix, Mercedes beat them to it, but they did get second, third, and fourth. So obviously they shouldn't really be disheartened by that. It is going to be close for Williams. I don't think they're going to really threaten the top three as much, but obviously let's not rule them out of any surprise results this weekend. So just moving on to my team, McLaren. Now McLaren last weekend, it wasn't good. For one driver it was good, for the other it wasn't. You could say he was on cloud 7. You know exactly who I'm talking about. And that is obviously Fernando Alonso. P1, P2 and P3, 7th. Q1, no. Qualifying 7th. I was going to say Q1, Q2 and Q3 7th, but he didn't. Q1, qualifying rather, 7th. And obviously the race in 7th place. So very good haul of points for McLaren there. Both cars into Q3 for the first time since 2014. I approve of that. The race, I don't approve, which is a bit unfortunate. Alonso's race was good. Jensen Button's race, as I said, was going to be the race from hell. It must have been really bad for him, for us fans watching. It was the race from hell. Because one, it was so boring. And two, Jensen Button was the first retirement on lap 63 with the oil leak. But before that, he had a bit of problems with hydraulics as well. So, and obviously he was communicating with the team, which you shouldn't have done. And that's pretty much brought this debate back of the team and everything like that. So, I mean, let's see how this race pans out for Team Radio, because we all know what happens if you intervene with Team Radio at this particular Grand Prix. Fernando Alonso? Obviously, memories of Fernando Alonso's pass. Fernando Alonso's amazing overtake on Flick Massa in 2010. Fernando is faster than you. Now, a team I want to briefly bring up just for a bit is Toro. I always say that, by the way. I don't know why I always say that briefly. You know what I mean? I always say it briefly, but then I don't. I kind of just drift off in a way and just lose topic of everything. It's Toro Rosso. And I want to bring this up because Danny Kvyat's future is pretty much hanging in the balance right now. Because he started his career alright at Toro Rosso in 2014. Moved to Red Bull after 1 year, which is very impressive. Didn't really deliver there because, yes, they had a bad car. 2016, he got some podiums. Excellent. But then the Spanish Grand Prix gets demoted back to Toro Rosso. Max Verstappen comes in and wins the race. So, and everyone's like raising their eyebrows going, what? Whoa, hang on. What's just happened here? Well, what's going on? And now, as a result of just not delivering, they're not matching Toro Rosso standards, and they've got other drivers through the ranks who are, who obviously can do better at that role. And Danny Kvyat is just not having it right now. So if he wants to save his seat, he needs to do well from now onwards. Don't wait till the summer break. He needs to deliver now. He needs results now. He needs everything now if he wants to keep his seat. I like Danny Kvyat. I think he's a good driver. He's got potential. It's just, however, it is a bit of a shame how his career has sort of spiraled out of control. And I believe there's incidents with like hitting into Sebastian Vettel quite a lot at the start of the season. It's kind of an excuse for Red Bull to then turn around to Max Verstappen and go, right, I want you as a driver, because they probably look at it and go, you know what, I'd rather have Verstappen than Kvyat, but I can't wait till the end of the season. We should get him in now. So obviously, yes, I don't think Danny Kvyat will do well at this Grand Prix due to his form. Carlos Sainz, on the other hand, I think he had a Q3 appearance. I think maybe I want to say about P8 for him. So he's a very good driver, very talented driver. I think he should be at Red Bull. I think when Daniel Ricciardo goes, on the pastures new, I think Carlos Sainz should fill in that role at Red Bull. He's a very talented driver. He is a world champion. He has got world champion ability in him. So watch this space, Fernando Alonso. You might not only be the Spanish world or the only Spanish world champion in the future. However, obviously they're my predictions for Toro Rosso. But the other team as well is going to be Sauber. Now Sauber, as like I said in the debate show, have been took over. So let's see how the new positive atmosphere around Sauber right now. Let's see if it has an effect on the racetrack and maybe score their first points of the season. The only team not to score points. I think in my last episode I did say Renault. haven't scored points, but that is a total lie, because they have. Kevin Magnussen scored 9 points so far. Palmer hasn't scored any, by the way, guys, so apologies for that. But yeah, Sauber are the only team yet to score points this season. So I mean, let's make it let's make it now rather than later, or now rather than never, you know what I mean? As the famous quote goes. Those two Q1 appearances from both of them, I think that's the first they're going to get this weekend, in my opinion. We're not seeing, go higher, but obviously let's see how things pan out. And the other team as well is going to be Renault, who I think are having an absolutely fantastic season. No, that's a lie. That's a total lie. Renault have not had the season that they wanted. They didn't want to have the return they wanted. Julian Palmer hasn't scored any points. Magnussen scored 9 points. And I believe Palmer's future is very much in the balance, because everyone expected him, to do well, because everyone's saying, could he be the new Jenson Button, the new Lewis Hamilton? You know what I mean? I just hope he's not one of these drivers where he's in for one season, then moves on to be a pundit. You know what I mean? Like Bruno Senna was. You know what I mean? He was kind of like an F1. He was supposed to be F1's next big thing, because obviously he was the nephew of Ayrton Senna. And now he's a Sky Sports F1 pundit. So I think, or is he? Or is he on, I don't know what he does now. I think I know he's in Formula E, but anyways, that's for another episode. And yeah, so I mean, those two right now, they could be racing for their careers, as well as Kevin Magnussen. But I believe he'll pretty much stay because of sponsorship and everything. But let's see how that pans out this weekend. Both get knocked out in Q1. Maybe Kevin Magnussen might go into Q2 and surprise us all. You know what I mean? Should the rain come, you never know. But this weekend is going to be a bit of a struggle for Renault. I would like to see them in the points. Palmer was very near scoring his first points, by the way, guys. Unfortunately, he spun at Hungary, and obviously dropped from 10th to 14th. So again, very close by. I mean, good valiant effort, Palmer. But you know what I mean. You've got to concentrate at all times, my friend. And obviously, I'm not a Formula One driver, but when you picked for a seat and you're good enough, you need to deliver. You need to stay focused as well. So let's hope he can do that, and I hope Julian Palmer can score his first points of the season. So anyway, guys, just to wrap up this preview, I'm going to give you my predictions for this Grand Prix. I'm going to give you my top 3 as well. So I'm going to say the winner of the Grand Prix is going to be Nico Rosberg. It's his home race. The fans are going to be behind him. I think he's going to do well. I think going behind Lewis Hamilton is going to give him a bit more drive and a bit more momentum, because it's like, right, I had this lead, I've lost it, I need to claw it back, I need to work hard. So if Rosberg can somehow claw a way back, it'll be a very good recovery to fight for a driver like Lewis Hamilton, who's very fast, very talented as well, and obviously drive Rosberg on to go and win his first World Championship. So Rosberg is going to win the Grand Prix, in my opinion. Second place is going to be Lewis Hamilton. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a close fight between those two. I think the support of the Germans will favour Rosberg, and I think Hamilton will probably buckle to that. Third place driver has to be Sebastian Vettel, the other German for this for the Grand Prix as well. He's a very good driver. He hasn't had a podium in a while, so let's hope. You know what, let's bring that good vibe of Sebastian Vettel back. And you know what, I think it'll be fantastic, singing the German national anthem, not only for Rosberg, I think Vettel will be singing it as well. Obviously in front of his home crowd, not necessarily for him, but I'm sure he will get a very good cheer, as will Hulkenberg, and as will Pascal Wehrlein. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more brilliant F1 content as well. We've got a lot more planned for you guys as well coming up in the future, so stay tuned to find out what that is exactly about. And so yeah, anyway guys, we'll see you for the F1 debate show on Saturday. See you later guys, take care.